James and Ryan here from the Sweet Science of Fighting Jiu-Jitsu Instructional channel. Now we're going to cover a second offensive principle, and that is position, control, and then submission.
It's pretty straightforward. It used to be the old saying, position before submission. Certainly true. But as things get a little more complex in jiu-jitsu, we're starting to get more detailed in what we're talking about. So we say, position, control, submission. So essentially what that means is if we take a side control position, and I did all this work getting to side control, I'm not going to just, go into side control and then immediately start to go for a submission. Now, I'm not saying that's wrong, but you can do that, especially in tournament settings and things like this. You got to go for things. There's a time limit, all this stuff. But it is much better for me to control the position first. And, I know that James is going to be trying to produce escapes and move around and do all this stuff. He's not just going to be sitting, laying down flat. He's going to be moving. As he's moving, if I start to try to go for submissions, I can lose things very quickly because I start to lose connection. So it's in your best interest if you have somebody that is just kind of go, is just try to control the position and really see how he's trying to submit. So if he starts to try to escape and I'm switching my hips, I'm doing all this stuff and I'm blocking, and I'm just trying to stay control with the position. Okay, I'm not really going for a submission yet. I'm just trying to control the position. And I know this is kind of a fairly obvious these days, but it is really good just to have a focus on control instead of actually the submission. And in doing so, what you'll find is that a lot of times the submission actually starts to present itself, and you're not having to force positions. Force positions they certainly can work, but obviously with smaller people versus bigger people and all these things, this is not such a easy thing to do. So try to take your focus to more of a control of the position instead of trying to just kind of jump into the submission as quickly as you can. Another example of this would be to say I pass the guard and I go into a leg position or a leg drag position. I always tell guys, before I share this, I always tell guys, when you're passing the guard, one strategy you can actually take is to just take out of your mind passing the guard and actually more focus on controlling the legs. You can do this by many methods. You can start to pin the legs, I'll give you a quick example of this. So if I do a leg drag and I just go really try to pass really quick here, he may recover, James may recover and start to get his guard back. However, if I go here and I start to pin pass and I staple his legs and I don't really care about passing, I'm more concerned about controlling his hips and his legs here. And from here, I can start to windshield wiper and slowly start to improve my position. So this is a good example of I don't want to be in a rush to try to pass the guard. I'm more concerned about controlling and pinning his legs down. And this goes into kind of a riding the legs kind of system. There's a lot of systems out there that kind of teach this kind of riding the legs. And in doing so, if I just keep this position here and I'm saying like this and he goes to defend, he starts to kick me away, he's going to give me the pass, right, by kicking his legs. This is a very basic example, but a very useful thing to do, especially when passing the guard. We all get in such a rush to try to pass the guard, especially beginners, and they really lose focus of trying to control the person first, control the legs as a method of passing. Certainly there is, types of passing where you can cartwheel over people and backflip and all this stuff. That's all great. But there is a method of actually controlling the legs and pinning the legs or actually riding the legs, even a surfing type of thing you can do instead of trying to just run pass really quick and then James recovers and then there we go. So just another good example of submission control and then, position control and submission.